We good?
The Bears here.
Yeah, you guys figure that out.
Looking to set down this first scrum for them. Referee Randall Johnson wants to bring that one up and make sure we're all set.
Yep. Bind. Bind to the wings, bind. All right, crouch. Bind. Set.
And the Bears together, big squeeze coming in from Independent Red. We have a penalty, a whistle coming. Penalty against Independent for a player pulling there. So not going to plan for the Independent right now in the scrum area.
It's over here.
Opportunity for the Bears to push this one downfield.
Mostly feast on day one for the Independents in the scrum. Had some big moments, put a couple of teams on skates, but the Great Lakes pushed back against them in the final pool play game, and we saw they were a little bit vulnerable. And here the Southeast, that all Queens front row, is really anchoring down and giving them a lot of trouble early on. It's going to be a great battleground throughout this 40 minutes.
Certainly will be 7-0. Southeast is in the lead right now. That early try, we'll get that scoreboard updated as soon as we can. Ball up, taken away by the Independent. They're going to move this one quickly, right at their 22. Big hit comes in there on Joe Alhasso, the ball carrier. Ball up in the hands of Malcolm Robinson. Started to carry more as the day went on yesterday. Here comes Gordon. They're looking out. That looks like an intentional knock-on to me. Just kick forward there. And we're going to come back for the penalty. Surprised the referee isn't considering a card right there, Pat.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, it seemed like cynical play, but I think the referee is he wants the play to take care of itself early on. He's had a couple of opportunities I think he's mitigated a potential penalty or a potential call. I think he wants to calm things down, let the play take care of itself, let it all be decided on the field, and keep his card in his pocket. And I respect that. Championship Rugby, make him really earn that card.
Alhasso steps up. Line-out jumpers stepping in. They're going to go to Corbett here, but it's not going to go straight. The referee's going to give the opportunity here for a scrum or a line-out to the Bears. Ali Corbett having a word with them.
We'll do the scrum.
Yeah, frankly, I thought
Bears
the Independents got a little lucky on their first line-out that it was not deemed not straight. And so the second one was definitely pinged. And for as good as their maul is, the Independents have struggled to get that ball in cleanly so far all weekend.
You got it, Justin. Coach! Fine! Up, gentlemen. We didn't go over this beforehand, but we want to make sure our heads are not touching each other's shoulders.
Scrum becomes more of a contentious
second, but sit back for a moment, okay?
Battleground here.
Don't push him in.
It is these guys are going to get a little bit more chippy and get for the fight for the small margins before they even pack down.
Bind. Set.
The teams wanting to battle that independent, powerful scrum. Ball's going to come off the back here. Away go the Southeast Bears. A little miscue in the back there. Ball goes to the ground. Recovered quickly by Bazarian. Played scrum half, pardon me. Voath moves this one out to Corbett. Corbett taking the contact to set it up. There's room off to the left-hand side. They come to Antisev. He's looking wide out there. They get the ball to Gordon. Gordon gets it to Kamara. Kamara keeps it in. Does the Dartmouth Flyer. Voath comes again, but referee is going to penalize players for not keeping their feet here against Independent.
10 off his feet.
I think that's a rough call. The one player who came in who was over the top of Kamara was on his feet. I think the referee just thought a little bit too much of his weight was resting on his hands or on his upper body, and so he didn't give it to him. But there was really no contest. Nobody from the Southeast was coming in to play that ball.
Thank you.
So, that was my thinking. There was really no contest there from the Southeast players, and they still whistled it. It's just a bit of a surprise.
It's all right. This referee's done a pretty good job of swallowing it so far. That time probably a little bit over officious, but early goings he's been pretty good.
Ball out in the middle of the field. It's a roller. Someone's going to pick it up and set it up Not exactly what they wanted to get the play going there, but Austin Costco is in.
Right there. Ball's right there. Bad presentation.
Ball is available.
Now you can.
Independent wanted to play that one. A little slip through there. A little knock on comes in. Here comes Independent. They've got a scrum advantage. That's Gordon. Ball in hand quite a lot. Independent Red, you can see their intention to move it a little more this Sunday morning, and that is Reed Santos bringing that one in. Ball out there into the hands of Tony Zhao. Brown player playing in the second row, wearing number 20. A penalty this time against the Southeast Bears. 10 minutes gone in this 20-minute half. Not rolling away against the Bears. Opportunity here for Independent Red. We expect to see them to move this to the corner.
Had a good maul on last time they were down here, and they were able to cleanly field that line out. It went down very quickly. I was kind of surprised. One of the times I saw the referee swallow his whistle, I was kind of surprised to see no call whatsoever. It went down very quickly, and play was allowed to go on. I think maybe that's what Ollie is talking to the referee about right now as they walk towards that lineup. Maybe also the throw, because he took a little bit issue with the not straight call last time, it seems. So either way, they're conferencing on their way to the line out. And this is a big opportunity for Northeast.
Independent Red, coached by Ed Turbity, Dave LaFlamme, Kyle Sumption with Matt Charest as their manager. Another part of the squad there. Ball goes up this time to Corbett, comes down strong. Good maul coming on from the Independents. Driven forward. Southeast trying to dig their way in there. Ball comes up to Aljandari. Aljandari gets the 5-meter line. Big pick and go there from one of the forwards. Advantage here from the referee. Keeping it tight, still with the advantage, and T-Sev, ball slips out of his hands. Gonna go back for the penalty right away here. See what they decide to do. Keegan Bliss gets the ball forward to Corbett. They're going to go for another maul here. Pat looking at that strength a little closer. See what they can get done this time.
Yeah, the first time it went down early, probably a little bit unlucky to not get a call. Second time, it was really contested, hotly contested. I think the Independents largely accomplished what they wanted. They broke the gain line with Aljandari breaking off and getting close, but definitely applied pressure with that last one. These Queens players are very familiar with it. They faced it in the D1 National Championship from these Brown guys.
Ball comes down. Good maul coming forward. Southeast going to want to be careful here not to drop this one to the ground. Good wrestle for the ball. Comes down to the Independent, but not in the try zone they want. Corbett looks for the side. Corbett finds a try zone. 5 points to the good here for Independent Red. Opportunity to tie it up with a kick. Good answer there from this team from the Northeast.
That's right. You give them too many of those opportunities, they're going to nail one, they're going to knock one in, and that's exactly what happens here. I thought the Southeast Bears might have had their hand on that ball and won the wrestle for it on the ground, but it sprung free. Somehow Ollie Corbett, surprise, surprise, ends up with the ball in hand, fights his way over the try line. Almost leveled the score here for the Independents. If we can get this kick over the uprights, we're going to have a level score. This is a great contest here early on in our first quarterfinal of the day.
Putting the scouts on notice. You got one for me?
Got a little water.
Santos, pretty good angle here for him. He certainly has the distance on these. We'll see how he does. Launches that one up. It has a distance, but it is going to sail just in front. So we're at 7-5 Southeast here in the first half of this quarterfinal. The National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Shield Challenge here in Houston, Texas.
The Independents showing us what their real strength is. If you commit penalties, they have the ability to put it downfield, out of bounds, throw that line out and put on a good maul. Give them a few of them, they're going to apply enough pressure and find a crack. That's exactly what happened there. Southeast, the best way to stop that is not to commit penalties. Just get up, play patient defense. Take your time, know that you can make your tackles, get up, reassemble, and do it over and over again. and start to cause some frustration from that Northeast team from not being able to move the ball forward.
Good movement here by Independent Red. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first half. They're going to launch that one downfield through NT-Sev. Rolling towards touch. Good distance. Net gain there for Independent Red. Line out to deal with here for the Southeast. See what the Southeast is planning from this distance.
Northeast really does a great job of playing territory. Probably better than anybody so far this weekend.
5. Yeah, just half step.
Ball up to Corbett. Referee is going to whistle for a not straight there. Again, not contested. Didn't see the difference, but we'll have a scrum here. Actually, was knocked on by a Southeast player in the lineout. Pardon me.
Not straight.
That was a call for a not straight.
Advantage game.
I think you're right. It was not straight. We've got some wind down here, as usual, here at Aviva Stadium in Houston, Texas. I know that's something they've been struggling with all weekend. That one was so not straight that you almost could have awarded advantage just on the throw. The Independents not being able to get that.
Yeah, I think that's where I was. My apologies.
I'll get out of your way.
I was a little confused there. I thought the ball went straight to Corbett, and I did think they were just going to play on. So a little confusion on my end there. Apologies as always, but here come the Independent. That is Voath. There's a hold of that ball.
Step back.
Voath from Boston College, went to St. Ignatius High School. Won a couple of high school national championships there. Big drive coming on from Independent here. Big drive coming. Finally, the penalty comes, so they have a free play here. Ball doesn't go quite as it wants, but there goes Junior Gaffa. Gaffa, the Brown football player, has not gotten too much room to run, but when he does, he can be dangerous. And T-Sev comes to Santos in the middle field. They go to Gordon at the playmaker slot. He's got Kamara. Kamara can't find his way around. Good wide defense there from the Southeast team. And T-Sev gets it to Estevez, center of the field. They're going to come back in this direction. A long, high looping pass to Kamara. Not going to be able to make anything with that. She just has to take it to the ground. Again, good defense out wide by Southeast. Very impressive this weekend. Cross the field defense from this Bears team. Voath comes to T-Sev, and T-Sev looking for a spot. Can't find it.
You still have penalty advantage. Hold.
Voath. And for runners to reassemble here, here comes Estevez. Estevez takes that one into contact. Voath. To Corbett. Corbett. Let's come back in the other direction. Corbett. Not able to get these passes away, or these little forward pods here for the Independent, but they're going to have a penalty. Come back for the original advantage there. Opportunity to push this one down to the corner. Looking for another 5 points of a driving maul, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we just talked about it. The indiscipline of the Southeast Bears, it's completely taken the ball, the air out of the ball for them. You started this game with them completely on the front foot, had the Independents totally reeling, and this penalty after penalty after penalty from the Bears is what has resulted in the Independents regaining all the momentum, getting 5 points on the board, and now looking like they're on the verge of getting a couple more.
Gordon pushes that one inside the 22. They are about 10 meters out, 15 meters out from the Southeast line. Opportunity here for the Independent to take the lead.
Very good.
Knocking on the door. Driving maul has been strong. Set piece has been strong. Got to get the throw straight in this wind.
Kind of stuck in between two minds if you're the Southeast. Do we want to contest this thing because the Independents have not been fantastic all weekend or super clean all weekend? That's what that contest was there. Or do we want to keep our feet on the ground and just defend this inevitable maul? This time they contested, which I think was the right decision. A little bit of an over-aggressive play, though, yanking. Was it an arm he pulled down, the ball he pulled down, and now we've got a penalty for the Northeast. If they're smart, I think they go, yep. It's really, do you want to win or do you want to win is their choice here. Do you want to scrum or do you want to line out that last scrum? If they do what they did on the last scrum here, they're going to march it across this line, and it's going to be an easy score for Estevez at the back.
And if you see, they have Henrique Gabriel from Brown playing a flanker. He plays in the front row for Brown typically, but played actually for Portugal as a U18 as a flanker, so a depth there as well. So they've got some big beef here to drive this over. We'll see how they do. Referee's just going to pull that one up.
Step back, half step each. So I will make sure you have a good gap.
Referee Randall Johnson here.
Seconds, don't ruin it.
Here he's got a great fastball, Pat.
Ouch!
Not a big fan of it in the aviary community. When one time he threw a fastball that blew up a bird was one of the greatest highlights of all time. If you're watching this and you're too young to know it, I'm sure the internet still has it.
Big drive coming in here from Independent. They're working their way towards that line. Estevez has the ball on the ground. They're going to come up here. They're going to let him play. Someone's going to break apart. Santos goes to Gaffa. Gaffa flat on the line. Steps a couple.
Keep your feet, keep your feet.
Player in the way of Voath there. Referee's going to let it go. And T-Sev gets it to Gordon. Gordon really out there looking to get Kamara into some space. Player from the southeast needs to roll away here. Referee lets him play. Here comes Estevez. Estevez well covered. Voath ball in hand again. We'll go out there to Corbett. Corbett. The players converging on him. Who's well covered by defenses these days. Reed Santos goes wide, but that's going to go in behind. Have to just reset that one here. Voath works his way across. You can see Independent Red reassembling. Ball comes to Antisev. Goes to Henry Gabriel. Gabriel steps around a couple, making a little bit of ground here, getting some momentum for Independent Red. See where they just had to go. Voath. They keep playing that one, even though it looked like a player on the ground. He might have had his hands on it. Antisev goes in there. Corbett. Runners in behind. Here's Gordon. Gordon's going to have to keep that one. Gordon, the French player out of Northeastern. Voath. Getting a penalty against Independent Red. Southeast going to get away with another one here.
1-8.
Yeah, I think just unfortunate there for the Independents. Southeast probably could have been called for at least 2 penalties on that run, on that defensive play, defensive stand. Really aggressive play, and it was rewarded on that time. Just stymied the Independents, who I think were surprised to not have a couple of offside calls pop off.
That's not a good look.
But regardless, impressive defensive stand by the Southeast Bears.
And that's going to bring us to halftime. 2 points in it, 7-5. Southeast leads the Independent Red in this first quarterfinal here. We'll be back with second half action in just a minute.
Thank you. Well.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Since 1979, we've been searching for perfection. We've been thinking, sketching, and designing.
I finally have rosters.
We've been building, assembling, and strengthening. We've been cutting, shaping, and painting.
Welcome back to Aviva Stadium here in Houston, Texas. It is a Sunday morning down south as the Independent Red trail by 2 points. You see them getting ready to kick off, obviously in red, running from left to right, and in white, Southeast Bears leading 7-5 in this NCR National Collegiate Rugby All-Star Shield Challenge. John Broker with Pat Clifton for this matchup. The 20 minutes we have to go here, Pat.
Absolutely, an exciting first half. Only 2 points separating these teams. The Southeast Bears, they got some guys from Queens University looking to get some revenge against some of the Brown Bears leading this Northeast Independent side. Really excited to buckle in for the second 20 minutes.
Nice high kick, bounces on the ground, but recovered here by the Southeast Bears. See what some changes look like for these teams. I believe there's their bench going on, waking up on Sunday morning after playing 3 games yesterday, albeit short in halves. Going to be a little bit challenging. Defense from the Independent Red trying to keep this team inside their zone. Penalty here against Independent Red. Said a player wasn't supporting his body weight.
It's something that the
Fussell kicks that one.
Independents are going to have to adjust to.
A Belmont Abbey player from Bath.
Both of these sides are having a little bit of a difficulty adjusting, especially in the breakdown, to the referee's assessment. But the Independents especially, that's twice they've been called and flabbergasted for the call on losing their feet while they've kind of kept them in the breakdown.
Still waiting.
Few changes coming in here for the Southeast. You see Kyle Van Niekerk coming in, along with Jeremiah Curry and Chester Stanion. 3 good additions to come onto the field in the second half.
Yeah, it is.
See what kind of impact they can bring to proceedings.
Van Niekerk, very good player. Starter for Queens. Started for this team yesterday, most games. Nursing a little bit of a leg injury, but good enough to come in and make a second half impact here.
Nice tip back there from Independent Red on the line out. They're going to continue to attack inside the southeast half here. Henry Gabriel gets a hold of that one. Gabriel bounces off one. Gets the ball in there the second time. Voath looking for a runner, and Tsev goes up back to Santos. Santos to Gordon. Gordon playing that outside playmaker position. Paying off well. They're using those wider channels better today. Or this Independent Red team. Estevez gets the ball fairly flat to the line with a defender. Here comes on Tsev to Corbett. Corbett working the outside pod, but brings it back into the center of the field. Put it in behind Gordon. Gordon has a hold of it, gets that ball to Robinson. Robinson gets across the 40-meter line. Voath looking for a runner, finds Estevez. Estevez just had to slow down to take that one. A penalty for player not rolling away against the Southeast Bears. We'll see what the decision is as we're 7-5, just 2 points here. And it's all or nothing today, Pat. Player has to win. There's no points differential. None of that makes a difference.
That's right. It's championship knockout footy. All you got to do is win by 1 point, survive and advance. It's a lot of fun to watch. Here we are in the quarterfinals. You're going to have to win 3 games today. The Independents, that's what it's going to take to defend their title from last year. They're really doing a good job working their 1-3-3-1 across the pitch. This is the tightest they've looked, the most cohesive they've looked in attack. The Southeast Bears, used to this. This is the most probably prevalent and popular attack system in the United States is the 1-3-3-1. Those numbers are talking about where you split your forwards across the pitch. So they're used to it, but that also means that the Independents are able to execute it pretty smoothly and pretty quickly, and it's to their advantage right here.
Santos steps up. Santos has the distance. Santos does not have the accuracy. That one rolls out back. It'll be a 22 drop here for the Southeast Bears. There's another potential attacking opportunity here for the Independents as we're just about 4 minutes gone in the second half. Remember, 20-minute halves here at the NCR All-Star Championships.
One of the things the Independents are missing from last year is the boot of Mike Weir. He was the MVP of this team, graduate from Dartmouth, and got drafted into the Old Glory DC team in the 3rd round last year, one of several players who were drafted out of this competition. his lethal boot for points. That's 5 points now left off the board for the Independents.
Little mistake there from Independent Red. Ball's going to come back for the Southeast. Lucky bounce. Should have the advantage here. That one just spills forward. Referee is going to bring us back. Randall Johnson, the referee.
An unfortunate, unforced error from the Northeast on that one. Bails out the Southeast. Gives them a great split scrum here right in the middle of the field. Going to be able to split that Northeast defense. Should have a numbers advantage whichever side they go to as long as their skills and scrum hold up.
Yeah, first after I said take on the formidable scrum here of the Independent Red, but Southeast certainly a great front row here. Trevion Reed, Marshall Frank, Rowan Shawver, some big fellows in there. All in from Bazarian. Off the back, steady scrum, no problem. Bazarian has it, but he's a little bit isolated here. Can just get the ball away. Player being driven towards touch there, just launches the ball back in the air. Winds up somehow in the hands of one of his teammates. Ball on the ground. We'll see how they work this one out. Just a little pick and go, trying to get everything reset. Players coming in from all over the place. Look, it's going back to Independent Red. Good presence of mind there. Ball, a little bouncer headed towards Corbett. Going to get picked up by one of his teammates, but a knock-on comes in from the Southeast Bears. We're going to have a scrum here to the Independent Red.
And now the exact same thing going the other direction. We've got a center scrum. You'll have your attack split most likely across both sides of the field. The Independents can get a nice shove on here and get a couple of... That makes a huge difference when this scrum is moving forward. That number 8, Estevez at the back, and for the 9, Voath, to operate and do whatever it is they want to do, whether it's pick up and go, run kind of a college option football play, or whether it's pass it out to the backs. If you're moving forward, it makes the world of difference.
Scrum coming forward there for Independent, but they're going to run this ball out. Coming around looking for some runners. Santos has to take it into contact. Set of backs in there cleaning it up, so they're going to go for a couple of forward plays. One would be a short of here as Estevez takes that one in. Voath moves it to Anton, and Tisev gets the ball to Henry Gabriel. Ball up to Estevez again. He's not finding the spaces he sometimes does as the Portugal U20 player, but a high tackle comes in from the Bears. There'll be opportunity here for Gordon to set up another line out for the Independents.
That was Van Niekerk at 6'2". It's sometimes difficult to get underneath the ball, get underneath the sternum. It was interesting. I saw some overseas youth tackle laws that they're going to be messing around with, some variations to bring the high tackle actually to the sternum, potentially in an effort to stave off some head injuries. But
we're still at 5.
It's difficult when you're 6'2" to get down and get low, and Van Niekerk that time just a little lazy in his tackling and cost him probably about 40 yards and the ball. And we'll see if the Independents can convert it into some points as well.
Look behind you. Thank you.
As we take a look at the other field, 15-0 Independent White over Midwest here. Good work by the other Independent side here. A lot of great players. So much concentration of players up in the Northeast. They're able to field 2 teams here. Midwest having a great go of it in second. Here is, however, Independent Red driving that one forward. Referee's still happy with it. No penalties as of yet. There's one. Advantage coming. They can move this ball down a little closer. They have a free play. Gaffa is off to the left-hand side. They're building some numbers out there. They're going to keep driving this ball. They'd be perfectly happy to work this one in. Sapping some strength. We're going to go back to another penalty here. So some players a little frustrated there on both sides, but penalty here for the Independent Red. We'll see what they decide to do with this one.
Not yet, but I'll let you know.
I think the optimal choice, the high percentage choice here is to take your 3 points, and it looks like that's what Santos is going to do. This will definitely be his highest percentage shot at goal he's had so far. Those first 2 kicks were difficult. They're not from easy angles or distances. I tell you, those scrums, if you can move them forward, there is no reason to stop at any point. It is almost keep that thing in there, let it go down, and give up on the opportunity of having some long break off the back of it, because the value you get of keeping it in is immense. because the other option would have been to potentially call for another scrum, get another 15, 20 meters of push, and maybe even another penalty.
That one hits, and they're up by 1 point here. It is 8-7. Independent Red with just about 10.5 minutes to go in this half. Still plenty of time. Pat, we haven't seen those really explosive outside runners for Southeast yet. They haven't been able to get the ball really wide. So if they can work this out there, they probably have some opportunities with the width. Independent playing a good control game right now.
Outside the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game, in that first half, we haven't seen the Southeast Bears possess the ball much. We haven't seen them go through many phases. I don't think they've touched a third or fourth phase on a possession since then. It's been all Independent Reds. They've been bleeding the clock with their possession. The penalties have helped, punting it out of bounds over and over again. So, yeah, the Southeast Bears just need to find the ball and get back into attack.
That one does not go 10. Ali Corver was going for it there. Looked like it was going to get just near the 10-meter line, but Independence opportunity here. Do they want a scrum or a line out? They're going to take a scrum at midfield, wisely so, as you see the sun start to break on this beautiful Sunday morning in Houston.
We'll get out the protractor on the next one.
Gorgeous weather compared to last year. It was absolutely freezing this time last year. And there it looked like Midwest. That's a shocking kind of, on that second field, Field 1, the Midwest Barbarians took Pool A yesterday. They lost to the Independence Reds, but 3 teams ended up tied at 2-1 on the top of that pool, and the Barbarians had the best point differential, and now they're losing to the Northeast seconds, essentially. So that's a shocking result developing on the outside field.
As you saw the kick not go 10 there, we're going to come up. We're going to set down the scrum again. You would say that the Southeast here, Pat, is really just trying to get a little jump on this scrum to stave off the power from the Independents. Wisely so.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you can, any edge you can find.
See Stanion at the back there. Great player for the Southeast, Stanion. Another Queens player from Brighton in the UK.
Come over this way.
I mentioned earlier erroneously that they had the all Queens front row. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case anymore. They lost Trevion Reed yesterday to injury towards the end of the day, and he was a fantastic playmaker for them. So that's certainly a loss that they're feeling today in this scrum down.
See number 17 there, construction engineering majors from the Citadel, Graham Blondis, or Blondes. They didn't give me a pronunciation on that one, so the family, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Big scrum coming from the Independent here, trying to draw another penalty, and they've gotten it. Referee just blew up the whistle, didn't play any advantage there. This seems to be the game for the Independent. Just push this one down. Don't think they're going to go for goal with this one. I imagine they'll go for the line out, Pat.
It's a magical part of the game. I mean, it is so unique to rugby. It is something that there really isn't anything like it in any other sport, and it is the essence of this game. And you can break another team's will in the scrum. If I'm the Independents, that's why I was arguing earlier. Maybe instead of taking the points to take the lead, I would have just picked a couple of more scrums, because if they keep going like this, there's only a matter of time before the Queens players are folding and they're on skates every single time. You can break a team's will in the scrum. You can knock a team out in the scrum. That's how you tap a team out in rugby, is essentially through the scrum. And it's a unique part of the game, and the Independents are close to that right now.
Independent come up. A little bit of a messy ball there, but they're going to drive it forward. Well taken. And the hands up Alhasso. Ball's going to come to Estevez, the front of this pod. Just a little out of his hands there, so has to reach for it. Reset, and Tsev here has a couple of runners coming. Moves that ball around the back. That one hits the ground for Reardon. They've lost a lot of ground here. Have the Independent Red. Ball out. Keegan Bliss, the UVM player from Rutland, Vermont. Taking hold of this one. Ball to Gordon. Gordon gets Reardon loose. Reardon makes some ground here. Voath working his way in there. And Tsev puts the ball in the middle of the field there.
Ball's right there.
Just a reset. Reed Santos looking wide on that one. Gets the ball down to Alhasso. He's playing that wide edge forward. Tias Calvo. Little chip ahead there from Independent Red, looking to play that space game. Ball bounces up. It's outside of the try zone. Player in a bit of trouble here. Abe Kamara on a ball, just squirts out there. This could be a try coming for the Independent Red, and it is. That is Jamie Chuidian from Dartmouth. Touches that one down. Great try for the Independents.
I tell you, it's almost like that pressure inside the scrum is expanded out here, and the Independents are able to keep it on. Great kick. Absolutely great kick and chase from Kamara. Any kick is only as good as its chase. And you can see the Independents chasing in numbers, connecting, creating manageable gaps. There is no good option here for the Southeast Bears. Nowhere to go. He panics, bobbles the ball in contact, scooped and scored by the Independents. That is a great team effort, great team try. And you can really get on top of a team in that scrum, and it translated outside of it that time. Wonderful play by the Independents. That is a championship team looking like they're on their road back to a title defense.
Take another look at this here. Launch downfield, well done. Bounces coming around, keeping it out. Charlie Harden was in a little bit of trouble here immediately. Abe Kamara able to jar that ball loose. Great work there by Chuidian.
There's Kamara and
San Francisco,
Dartmouth
California.
teammate Robinson boxing in that kick returner.
Ball comes back off of Corbett, but it comes into the hands of one of the Southeast players. So 8 points down, more than a converted try, with just about 4 minutes to go in the game. So some work to do from Southeast, but they have the players for this, most certainly. See how they do. Good counter rucks coming in from the Independents.
I don't know where it would be. So we're just going to play.
And just kind of caught in that midfield. It's pick number 13, Fussell. He's going to make some ground. Good momentum that they need there for this team. Player not rolling away quick enough for the Independents. And we have an opportunity here for the Southeast.
Here we go. It's been a while since the Southeast have gotten the right side of the whistle. And now they've gotten on the right side of the whistle, on the right side of the field, and they're about to make the right decision, which is to cut this down to a one-score game. They make this, it'll be a one-score game. So that's a good turn of events here for the Southeast Bears. And here, let's have a look at it again. Great run. You got to tackle the guy. Everybody, all the tacklers came in and hit his upper body first. And then when you're rolling away, if you're going to impede the offensive players coming in, trying to clear out that ruck and slow the ball down, that's going to be a penalty 9 out of 10 times. That's exactly what happened here. Fair play, and it all started with some good, dangerous running there from the Southeast Bears.
Smart choice here by Thomas Musi, the Paraguayan player. Taking a shot at goal here. Play for Kurda. Long list of accomplishments for this Lander University man. If he hits this one, which he does not, they would have been closer, and it's going to be Kamara to launch this one downfield. Kamara gets a good boot on that one. Doesn't find touch. Here come the Southeast Bears. A little more work to do. A big, big miss they just had as we're running down to about 2 minutes left on the game clock. Independents haven't been on as much defense. Southeast Bears again. Send a big man through. Rowan Shawver, another one of the Queens players from Idaho. Another penalty here against the Independent Red. And here comes Musi. He has wanted to make up for that missed attempted goal before. Independent asking whether this ball is out. Referee saying, nope, you have to wait. Pressure coming on here from Independent Red as Estevez comes in to make that tackle. Southeast.
Thank you. Offside. Which one? There's a bunch of them I can choose.
Little advantage here. They're across the 22. They're looking for a late game heroics here. They may get it. See what the referee says about this advantage, whether they still have it. Coming off to the left and the right-hand side, another advantage. As Teixeira takes that one in. They're about 5 meters out. Ball coming wide here, looking for that 5 points. Independent looking to hold them out right now. They're right at the try line. Expect some of the big boys to muscle the way through. That's Teixeira. They have yet another advantage right on the line. Independents be happy just to eat some of this clock. The ball wide. Player held up. Did he get the ball on the ground? Referee and assistant referee having a discussion here.
Gentlemen, separate.
Whether he scored it or not, there was a great
time.
pass just at the 11th
is
hour
off,
there
time is
from the
off,
Southeast
separate.
Bears to even set up this conversation.
Then I'm going to go back to the 12 offsides or the 15 offsides. We're going to give them a choice. Thank you. Very good call. Gentlemen, ball, it is not a try, but we have multiple penalties. I have a penalty that'll be here for the 15 off.
Hold it.
Well, guys, quiet.
Be a fucking dog, boy.
You have a penalty here for 15 offside, or right there where the blonde gentleman is standing there for 12 offside.
We need to go for 3. We need to go for 3.
I have 43 seconds left.
We need to go for 3. We need 3.
Cut. 40 seconds. Time is not running yet.
Just about 40 seconds to
Because we're stuck over
go.
here. Hold on,
Penalty
hold on.
here
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
for
whoa.
the
I gotta
Southeast
start.
Bears. They need 8 points.
Thank you. Now I have a
Certainly want this
decision.
try.
Wait.
Have to convert it and get another try
Wait till I
somewhere.
blow the
So we'll
whistle.
see what they come up with. Jeremiah Curry pointing out to the referee that players were just over the line there for the Independents. Player rumbles towards the line for Southeast.
boys.
Southeast looking for more points there.
23 back. 23 back. Offside 23. Release.
We
Release.
have player coming in.
I have a penalty
Referee's
advantage,
arm
23
out. Maybe
outside.
an advantage just pointing in the wrong direction. Ball is at the line.
Let it go. Let it go. No. Don't. No
Quite
more. No
see
more.
it from there. Bodies
It's a
just piling
try.
in. A referee whistles for the try.
No, the ball's
From
over
the
here.
Southeast Bears bring themselves up to 12. They have an angle on the kick. We'll see how they do.
You took it already.
It was
quick
no
kick.
good.
There is not.
The referee is going to whistle for the end of the game, and the Independents win their quarterfinal. They will move on, and the Southeast Bears will move to the other bracket.
Separate.
And that is that for this matchup. We're going to be back in a minute with another quarterfinal. The Great Lakes Thunderbirds will be taking on the Tri-State Foundry. Be back in just a minute with that.
And
Since 1979, we've been searching for perfection. We've been thinking, sketching, and designing. We've been building, assembling, and strengthening. We've been cutting, shaping, and painting.